Come on in and welcome to my home. Today we are on part 2 of cleaning up my garage, and it's a really hot day, and I'm breaking my garage down into zones. Luckily for me, I had planned ahead on this, so this is going to go, I hope, fairly fast. But let's get started with moving things around so that we can make our zones really work. Okay, let's be honest about all those craft projects that you keep saying that you're going to do and never do. It might be time to get rid of them. If you know that you're never going to go back to painting, or you didn't like painting to begin with, yet you started it and you have all that stuff, maybe it's time to let that stuff go. That's what I'm doing. At one point I was going to paint, but decided not to. And there you have it. We are at the end of day 2, episode 2 of the garage cleanup. Everything is in its basic zone. And I went with the zone system because it'll be easier for me to actually work with it. The zones are as follows, and this is such an easy thing to do. Our first zone is my decorations for everyday kind of thing, so whenever I want to change them out, it has the different things categorized, but they're not labeled yet. I'll tell you about that later. Then my next zone is my crafting zone. My crafting zone has a nice little area for all of my craft stuff to be. Then I have a cleaning zone with my tools and that sort of thing right there. The next zone on the other wall, I have a nice sewing zone in the container, and we'll show you that later on because we don't want to get into the insides of stuff yet. Then we have extra tools that I don't really use and things that I don't need to get to a lot because my lights, which I use for filming, have to go out here in the garage. So I use the lights out here in the garage and store them there. And I have my manuals that I want to keep for all the equipment that I own, and all that stuff is there. And it's just an area for things that need to be stored that I do not need to get to that often. Then I have a great area for cables and computer cables and those sort of things, and a whole bunch of bins, and that makes them really handy. The next area is the gardening zone and also work zone. In that area is where I'll be doing my potting and that sort of stuff with the nice drafting table, and it gives me a nice little area to be. Then I have my 3 Christmas trees that I have stored out here in their little shrouds. Then other things which I have are my bike, which has to stay out here, of course, a dolly, and then more storage of stuff that I do not need to get to all that often, but I have it out here. Extra clothes, seasonal clothes, and they are in bags which I use to, they're the airlock bags which I use to store them in so they take up less space. Then we have my Christmas zone, which is sort of hidden by a table saw, which I'm debating if I'm going to keep. And we have some extra wood, which I'm debating if I'm going to keep. A chair, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with, and then the recycling and trash. Those are the zones that I have, and it's really great, it's really wonderful. We're going to get into these even more next time because we're going to start labeling everything. Why are we labeling everything? So I can find it. Makes things easier. If you like this, let me know. You can hit like and leave me a comment. Don't forget, if this is your first time here, to subscribe. Every Wednesday is tips for you in your house, and this is our series on cleaning up my garage, which I'm sure some of you have garages which look like mine. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I get to see you again next time.